Hey everybody, it's Scott at Simcoe Spring Service, and today will be the last day that we are manufacturing our 3-inch lift blocks in the CNC machine this year of 2025. So these are the blanks that we get. We polish and clean them, and then we machine them. So we put a 5/8 hole in this end, and we tap a 3/8 coarse thread on that end. It's a pretty simple process, only takes a few minutes. We've been manufacturing a substantial amount of these things over the last couple months. It's kind of why I've been a little bit quiet on my YouTube channel. I've essentially been out here machining and cleaning and making all these, so this is going to be the last set that we make this year. Now, people are like, well, it's the middle of July, it's the middle of the year, you know? We're like 15 days past the 6-month mark. Why are you not making these anymore? Well, essentially, we got a big project coming up, and we wanted to proactively make, well, this hopefully will last me about a year, unless you guys prove me otherwise and buy a set of these things, but essentially this should last me for about a year. Here's a little sample of what we got. You can see there's quite a few of them. They're actually, this is 3 rows deep in here. I have another skid that's like pretty much fill. We filled it up until it started breaking the bottom out of it. It was getting extremely close to like actually having the parts drop right out of the bottom of the skid. So we had to put a hold on that one, and we started putting these in another skid. We have about 700 of those in there, and I'll show you a picture of that right now. So on a good day, I can usually make about 100. By the time I do my duties in the morning and come out here and machine, and I usually go until my back hurts so much I can't do it anymore, and then we just repeat until we got a lot done. So some days I can do 60 to 80 depending on how busy I am. Some days I miss because we're too busy doing other stuff. Today this is my second shift on this machine today. I did about 1 hour and 45 minutes this morning, 2 hours this morning. Did about 65 to 70 of them this morning. And so now we're gonna go and finish the rest of them. This is gonna be our last batch. So because this is our last batch, we pretty much have this thing streamlined to perfection. So right now we have our little drip tray here. Got about, well, these are specifically 20 blocks. We like to put 20 in the machine. Find it doesn't crowd the machine out very well. It takes about half an hour, which is about how long it takes for me to make them on the CNC machine. I can actually produce them just a tiny little bit faster on the CNC machine if I really push hard, but why push hard when the machine can only pump out 20 every half an hour? So essentially these have been dripping over lunch. So now we're just gonna basically take them over and just stack them. Now, one thing we do have to take a look at here is the weld seam. So the weld seams on the side on this one, there are some still in here that have the weld seam on the side. Now, some of these got mismatched. I'm not sure if I have any more. They might be in the bin. I'm not sure. There's a couple in here mixed in that have a seam on the bottom, and if I'm not careful, when the drill bit comes down, it'll actually twist. It'll hit the weld seam and twist off, and sometimes it'll break the drill bit. So I have to be careful with how do I load them up. So essentially we're just gonna bring these over here and sort them out, make sure the weld seam's in the right spot. I shouldn't be dropping these things. Thank goodness they're made out of steel, not glass. Okay, so all these have good weld seams. So there you can see I put the weld seam at the top so I can see it, and then that way I don't accidentally put it in the machine. But yeah, 100% of these are all good. They all have the weld seam in the right direction. So we're good to go on these. So this process here is a little bit of a pain because we get a lot of dust. I highly doubt this will show up on camera, but there's a lot of dust on here. And it comes from these stones. There's some bubbles. I don't know if you can see it. See if I can get a zoom in shot there. But there's a bunch of bubbles and stuff from the, there's essentially like a detergent in here and it foams and suds. And helps it deburr, but you're essentially taking a pumice stone or a polishing stone, and they will break down over time and their grit, this stuff here, all that nasty grit that comes off of there ends up on the parts. So we got to give them a rinse. We found all we have to do is a super quick rinse. It's not like super like elaborate anything, but this has the same concentrate in there. So it's got a little bit of the, it's like a polishing compound. Comes in a big container. I'm not going to pick it up, but it comes in a big jug of it. If you look at some of my other videos, shows me using it. So essentially what it does is it adds a little bit of a detergent to it and helps the like lubricate and allows the stones to grind off the material. So it kind of slips and slides on here, and it acts also as a anti-rusting agent. So the same liquid that we wash these in and tumble these in is the same thing that we wash and tumble these in. And that's it. That's all we do is just rinse them. Give them a little rinse. I don't like to leave them in there as long as I did this time. I like to take them out immediately because it rinses off like 1,000 times better. But I'm gonna wash and polish all these later anyways. And my coolant on my CNC machine is almost ready to be thrown out too. So if I get a little bit of that grit in there, it's not gonna hurt. But I do like to wash it off so I'm not putting and dumping all that grit into my CNC coolant. Yes, this batch has 22 in it because I had 5 extra. So I put 2 extra in this and 3 extra in that one. Just kind of keep it even. Yeah, it's really sticking on these because I left them in there for like a little over an hour when I went out for lunch and got food. Talked to all my employees and stuff. See what they're all up to. Yeah, there you go, 22. We lay them out on these pig mats. Basically, it helps kind of absorb all that off of there, lets it kind of drip off into there. And then after we do like a few hundred, we usually just toss these little mats out because usually by that time they're pretty much garbage. They stop absorbing after a while, but they've been working pretty good. I've been pretty happy with them. Essentially, that's it. And we just let them sit here. And then what we'll do is we'll load this back up. Get it tumbling. We'll switch you over here. So the trick to this machine is to not crowd it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dump them in kind of like this. And then as it tumbles, I'm going to add them in wherever I see gaps. Hopefully I got the best shot so you can see everything that I'm doing here. Okay, so essentially we got to take these parts out, clean, basically rack them onto the ground here. We're gonna pretty much get them ready for cleaning. They're gonna drip dry off on these pig mats too, because it's gonna absorb all the extra coolant that's on them. And then we're gonna load up a new set. I'll kind of give you one version kind of out here, and then we'll come back and we'll do a second one so you can see a little bit better. So they come out. And one thing I'm inspecting for too is little flappy pieces of steel that come off. If not, they'll get stuck in the hole. And you try to tap. They'll be stuck in the hole for when you try to put the these little socket head cap screws in there. So I try to clean them up. But that's pretty much them good to go. And I'll do a final inspection on them right before I go and like when I wash them all up and right before I put the little socket head cap screws in there. But essentially, just plop these in here. Make sure they're lined up. Give you a better detail here in a second, but essentially we get these lined up. So it has to be lined up to this part here and to the back. So we're actually starting our program off this top corner here. So when we set our home location, we set it to this face here and this face here, and then we go over and set our destination right there in the middle of the part. That's pretty much it. So here's our program. It's going to come down, drill, 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 tool change, drill, 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 tool change, tap, tap, tap. My poor glass isn't clean anymore, but it's the best I can do, so hopefully you can see everything. So this is a 5/8 carbide tip drill, and we're doing a pecking cycle in here. That's why it's going down, drilling, and then coming back up again. We weren't doing a pecking cycle, but the problem is that the little shavings were like getting all caught and twisted around the drill bit. So this has been working out really good for us. This here's a 5/16 drill bit. It's going to go in there and just drill a little hole on the other side and get it ready for the tap to go into. And it's hard to talk when that thing's blowing the air on it. So what it does is it blows the air at the tool to kind of like blow any debris or anything off of it. And then it's an air operated tool changer. So it actually sucks, it uses air to suck the BT30 holder right up into the spindle head. There you go, nice and fast. And switch over. It's really hard to talk over all that air, but essentially we're switching over to the tap now. Now, I don't know if you could see it, but it actually starts drilling about 3/4 of an inch above the hole, and that's so it gives time for the coolant to go down in there and flood it. Because without that coolant, it'll jam, and we've had a couple of taps get stuck without enough coolant in there. Because the coolant actually acts like a little bit of a lubricant as well. But if you have too much lubricant, then it won't cut either. It'll be too slippery. But yeah, that was fast too. So yeah, this entire cycle only takes 2 minutes and 49 seconds. So there you go. But now we have to go and blow it off. So we have our little trusty little air nozzle here. Put our little splatter guard up. There you go. And essentially we're repeating what we did earlier. Pull the parts out. And kind of set them down, inspect them. So I could do it here too and just get these little flappers or whatever off of there. And that's it, ready to go. No issues this time. Sometimes there's like little drill bits and little drillings and little filings and stuff like that that come off of the drill bits that kind of sit down on top of my ways in there. Prevents everything from sitting level, so you'll get a block that's crooked or twisted or something like that. So so hard to talk over that thing changing tool bits. So it's just really important for us to just inspect that to make sure that it's not causing any issues or anything like that, because if your block is chipped like this, it's going to come down and it's going to drill funny. So now while that's running, I can actually get some of my degreaser here. I'm just going to keep doing this live. I'm going to see if I can not edit most of this stuff here for you. Kind of give you a real idea of kind of what it's like running the CNC machine. It's not like intense, but it's kind of intense at the same time. So there's one right there, the weld seam at the bottom. So it's intense. It's like a slow intense. It's not bad, but once you do it for like 2.5 to 3 hours, then all this hunching over like this and cleaning and loading the machine and loading and unloading the surface prep kind of wears on my back a bit. But I have so many back injuries too that it's kind of expected. That's why I'm switching more to this style of work than working as a mechanic. It's nicer to make parts and sell parts than it is to lift 200-pound springs. If you've seen any of my other videos and stuff, slinging 200-pound walking beams and 200-pound springs and stuff like that definitely has a toll on the body over the years and years. I've been doing this for 20 years, so it's kind of crazy. But yeah, we got to found imperfection. Must have missed this when I was cleaning. So there's a tiny little burr right there across there. So I'm going to see if I can pick that off of there with my deburr tool here. Got half of it. If not, I'll have to bring it to the shop and grind it off. Some of these burrs are so hard that are almost impossible to get off with anything other than a grinder. It wasn't too bad. Deburr that one. Yeah, it's waiting for me already. 2.5 minutes later. So if you have one like this must have got slipped through. I must have missed cleaning it when I was doing the initial cleaning cycle, because all of these burrs are still on here. And the surface prep does a good job, but these burrs are so heavy. It's hard to get them unless you do it with a die grinder, belt sander or something. Right. Run the machine, run the machine. And I didn't blow it off. I'm trying to rush, trying to panic. Check for any kind of junk in here. Doesn't look like there's any junk, so we're good to go. Sometimes you have it like 4, 5, 6 times in a row. There'll just be junk everywhere, little shavings constantly. All right, that's up. You get to hear all the sounds. That's the air compressor. I joyfully get to hear that every like 15 minutes or so when the air compressor gets low. Sometimes you buy the cheapest air compressor you can find. But yeah, essentially with that and the surface prep going, and like I don't have it running right now at all, but with air compressor, the surface prep, and then we start running the impact out here, it gets pretty noisy after a while. So essentially what we do is we just kind of prep these, make sure that the thread actually took. If it didn't take and I have to clean it, I got like 2 or 3 different ways I can clean it. I can pass. You done? Thank you. You can pass another tap through it, or I have a chamfering tool that you can kind of deburr the outside, but I kind of like, it won't show up in camera. Let's see here. There's a tiny little burr right there, and I kind of like it because when this tightens into there, it'll suck in that burr and it'll jam, essentially, almost acting like a jam nut or a lock nut. And then we weld them in afterwards just to make sure, doubly, triply, that they don't fall out. And make sure the quality's up. Yeah, she's done again. I don't even get finished putting these little nubs in here yet. So yeah, it gets a little intense. Trying to keep up with this machine. Couple of burrs that time. Usually you can just blow them away with the air nozzle and it's fine. There we go. Get these cleaned up and then we'll tighten them all. Once we tighten them all, then we can basically be done with them. They're pretty much ready to go. That's why I just spray the degreaser right on this towel. Then I can just kind of mop it up. And every like 50 to 80 blocks or so, I usually throw it out, grab another one. Oh, missed another one. So, will it show up or not? I don't know. There's a burr right here in the corner. So I'm gonna take it, dig it out of there. So that's the bird, just that little guy right there. Just enough to annoy you. But I must have missed that one too. It was a hectic day trying to do this. It was so hot. Everything else looks like it was caught, so just that one piece. So this would be kind of akin to a live show. If you guys want me to do a live, let me know. Kind of do is set up like a laptop or something. Get it going out there. And another one. Once I get down to 20, I'm going to have to turn that surface prep on because that's about how fast I can make them. So I got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 19. So I have 19. So when these are done, I have to turn the surface prep on. Because if not, I'll get ahead of it. And I want to be done today. I've been looking forward to this day for a long time. There's also kind of test too to see if I can actually get, is it too loud for my voice? How much does the microphone pick up my tools and stuff like that? Because it seems pretty loud. So I'll have to see what kind of quality turns out in the video and stuff like that. And it's pretty simple now. I just rack them up. There's 12 in a row. I grab 3 at a time, which is nice. 3, 6, 9, 12 is one row done. And there you go. So now I can almost take like a little 2-minute break. Do some stretches. I'm not trying to do push-ups, just trying to get my back to function. But yeah. I don't know how much of this stuff I'm going to edit out, but hopefully I can just let it run live for you. Words are hard. Kind of get you an idea what a CNC day is for me. And I pretty much do this non-stop for 2 hours straight, and that usually kind of burns out my back. And then after that I take a lunch for half an hour to an hour, depending if I go stretch or exercise my back a bit, just to kind of get free up. That's what I did today. Put my heat pack on my back for half an hour extra, did some like paperwork, paid your taxes, all that fun stuff you get to do as a business owner. And then back out to the CNC barn again. Just trying to keep up. So there's actually only two of us that run the entire online store operation. It's me and Rob, basically. And Rob does all the online store orders. He does all the picking and packing. I helped him for like an hour this morning, trying to bag up some of the jam clip leaves and the Ford clip leaves that we have in stock, which I can show a picture of right now. But yeah, essentially we're running the entire operation with two people. We're just trying to keep it nice and lean and clean so that we can make a little bit more extra money, so that we can reinvest it. Because essentially when you're starting a new business, sorry, didn't know how loud that was. Starting a new business, there's a lot of investments, because let's say you have $500, right? And you're like, hey, I found this really cool item and it's $100, let's say. So you can buy 5 of them. That was rocking back and forth a little bit. What is the problem? I don't see anything wrong. Okay, must have fallen out. That was weird. Okay, let's say you got $500. So you can buy 5 of them. Let's say you sell them. Let's say you make $50 each. So now you have $750. So you can buy 7 of them. Pay yourself $50. It's not very much profit. So you can take that and say you pay yourself $150, $250. Suddenly you're getting back down to only being able to buy 5 again. So the trick that I did when I was, sorry, I have to be able to see myself. So the trick that I have for my little side business here is that's essentially how I operated it. We sold some coil springs, and whenever I sold like 5 or 6 or 7 sets, I would go buy another 5 or 6 or 7 sets, maybe 8 or 9, maybe 10. So any kind of profit that I made off it, I would kind of roll back into inventory again. But I've been doing that for 3 years now. So you're like, oh, you should be, doing pretty good. But now, like this investment here, 1,200 parts. 1,200 parts of a single part number is a substantial investment, and time too. Like I see a problem, I'm gonna have to solve it before I get any farther. Give me 1 second. Oh, fixed itself. Pull it back on, cycle start. Perfect. All right, so I just saw a whole bunch of little drillings all getting all caught up. So anyhow, so over the last 3 years, yes, we have increased a massive amount of our inventory, but the issue that we have too is, let's say you buy a tandem axle kit, you'll need 4 of these. If you need a tri-axle, you need 6. But the thing is that we have different variations. So you can have heavy duty kits, which we haven't really officially launched yet, even though I've been selling them for like a year. It's a whole nother story for another time. But essentially, we have to have an excess of inventory because those blocks get sorted into probably, he's so noisy, so rude. Anyhow, so you get those blocks, and then they can be sorted into a variety of different kits. So we have 12 different variations that we sell on our store. That's for single, tandem, and triaxle. And then on top of that, we also have, we sell them individually as well. So we have to almost have like an excess amount of these parts, so that as we sell them, we can then sort them into individual different variations of the same, essentially it's the same product, just done with different length U-bolts or different size U-bolts and stuff like that. Single axle, tandem axle, triaxle. So it's simple yet extraordinarily complex at the same time. And what we found was that when you're in your manufacturing process like this, it's nice to have Boku inventory, because I think it was last weekend, we sold 19 lift block kits in one weekend, which is like a record for us. So if you have 19 kits and you have 4 blocks on average per kit, you know, it's like 70, 80 blocks basically, because some are single axles, and then there's a couple that were sold that were like individual ones. So one guy bought like 2 3-inch lift blocks. That's it, no U-bolts, no nothing else, just blocks. So that was kind of interesting. So, but yeah, then we also have we also have 1-inch, 2-inch, and 3-inch blocks. So then we have to have multiples of sizes and variants. So suddenly you go from 12 different variants to 36 different variants, and then we sell them individually and singly. So that's another like 6 or 8 different variants, and then blah, blah, blah. So it gets very complicated very quickly. So for us, the easiest way for us to do it was just to have Okay, I was so rudely interrupted while I was monologuing here. But essentially, we wanted to have a lot of inventory. And essentially, when we have tons of these blocks, like let's say, for example, we sell 700 of these a year, I'll stock 300 of them, 400 of them at all times, ready to go. And the reason why is because I never know how I'm going to sell them, when I'm going to sell them. We've had our best month last year was in May. July this year is our best month. So I don't like to get caught off guard, because for me to order blanks, machine them, send them off or send them to the shop, we weld them in the shop itself, and then to get them cleaned and stuff like that, it takes us like a month or 6 weeks to do that whole process. So having a month or 6 weeks to do that entire process sucks, because if somebody orders it and we don't have it in stock, that's 6 weeks. That's a long time. Which brings us to why we're making 1,200 of these things. Last year we sold 700. I'm making 1,200 right now, because I don't want to make these until next year, because in the next video we're going to be announcing a big announcement. So, but yeah. So let's go run the surface prep, and I'll be back in a half an hour after they're clean. All right, this is the last batch. I get to clean this out because it's filthy. You see how dirty that is right there. Usually I try to get 10 at a time, that way I can count them out. If I know exactly how many go in and how many come out, then I don't accidentally forget them in the tank and let them all get all gunky and crusty. Yeah. Let's see here. So it's 10, 20, 2, and the last one, 23. Try to put an air gap in between them so they can evaporate and dry up. I don't want them rusting. So I did find one in the last batch, which is a bottom seam. I'm gonna run this through the CNC machine right now, and you're gonna see how loud it is when it runs through. It gets pretty grumpy going through there. Okay, so we put the weld seams at the top. So usually if you give them a wiggle, see how it wiggles? So I know there's something interfering or in the way. There you go. We're gonna pick up that carbide and send it through there, and you get to hear how grumpy it is. Hopefully it picks it up on the microphone. Yeah, see, it just doesn't like that welding seam. And you hear this one. That's a way quieter one than the last one. I can hear my motors a little louder than it was earlier today. It's got like a vibration sound to it. So hopefully that's not going to cause any issues. All right, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna run these for the rest of the day. So it's 4:32 right now, and I have 21 blocks to make at a minute a piece. So I have 9 extra minutes. Let's see if we can do it. I'll catch you back at 10 to 5. 4 minutes to 5. Got 2 batches left, well, 1.5 batches left. That one's just finishing up right now. I got everything cleaned, washed, nubbed, and ready to go. We're hitting the final stretch here. Tool change. I'm getting tired. I'm ready to be done. I've been working on these blocks for like a month. As many hours as I could fit in between everything else I do. Getting there. Oh, this is good. The only issue I have is I got to spend the next 3 months welding these bloody things. So my goal is to weld about 20 to 25 a day. Just set up, drop 20 down, tack them together, weld them up. I'm looking at auto welders just because my back can't handle welding much more than 20 to 25 a day before it starts locking up. It's that hunched over. If I could do it like this, it wouldn't be too bad, but I don't want to weld overhead. But yeah, go. Of course, it's really filthy dirty. There we go. It's gonna be great. About 2 weeks from now, maybe 3 weeks from now, I'm thinking 2 weeks from now, we're getting another load of 2-inch lift blocks. So I might end up doing another video like this if you guys like it. If you like it, thumbs up, comment, you know what to do. The more interaction and length that we get on this video, the more apt I'll make another one. Usually I'm averaging about 1,000 views a video right now, so it's not a huge amount of people that watch, but I appreciate y'all. And for you 100%ers out there, if you want to buy anything off our website, simcoespring.com, promo 10%. We'll give you 10% off anything on our YouTube channel. And I'm going to keep that promo code going for a long time until people start abusing it. I can't see how you can abuse it when you're just supporting me. So promo 10% at checkout, no spaces, no capitals. And this poor, lonely last little block is going to go in there. And what's going to happen, I might just show this to you guys then, is we're going to have it drill, and then it'll just drill the air for the other ones because I don't have a program for just one. But I can hear the vibration of this thing getting worse and worse every time. So I'm going to have to take a look at all the hardware and the bolts and stuff like that and make sure it's snugged down properly. It shouldn't be vibrating like that. It's usually a lot quieter. But there you go, 5 o'clock. So close. So the program's still written for all 3 blocks, but I only got one left, so. So now it's just gonna do it in the air. So I took all my little ways and spacers out. So these are my little ways, and then what I do is I put a zip tie in between them, and that kind of helps keep them propped up so that they don't fall over all the time. Works mostly, works decently well. When we're done with these, we'll just keep on trying to talk when that air's going off. But essentially, when we're done, we just clean, wash, and wipe everything, degrease it, and get it ready for the next time we need it, which will be 6 months from now, a year from now. pretty cool. I'm pretty excited. It's nice to have this many products designed and built ahead of time. Gonna work on other projects. All right, final tool change. Flip that tool over to that tap, and then technically I can just kill the program because I won't need anything else on it. So it pulls out and actually can hit free hold. Let's just hold it in the air. Turn that off. And I can just stop it, really. Make the tool go up. Give everything a little clean. The end of the day, so I like to knock all these chips out. But yeah, I can bring it forward and voila, the last one. And that one had two little trash doors, or trash can lids, hanging off of it. I wasn't going to skip this part of the video, but what's the point in having the last one if you don't show you the last one? I mean, what's the point? Oh man, I'm actually getting a little excited right now because I've been planning this for like 6 months, almost a year. Big announcement coming up next video. 4 nubs. Tighten that one left-handed because it's the last one. And the ironic part is, I have room for 1, 2, 3, and the 4th one is, just gets to hang out on top, I guess. It'll probably fall down one of these holes, but yeah, there we go. That is it. I am finished. It's 5 o'clock. I'm tired. My back hurts. But yeah. Thanks for watching. I will catch you next time. Have yourself a good evening and good night.